from 7 to 8 p.m. highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.
All right, good evening and welcome to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dionne Anglin. I hope everyone that's tuned in here, everyone's doing well. I hope you've all had a wonderful day. Please, if you're on the road and you're listening, drive safely. Tonight, however, on Sports Extra, we will be chatting with Mr. Robert Thompson Jr. And I know that name is not unfamiliar to many Caymanians here, as he is our bodybuilding sensation, right? Who holds numerous positions and international titles. So we're going to discuss that, of course, after our break. And, of course, his performance, his recent performance at the Muscle Mayhem Night of Legends bodybuilding competition that was held on Saturday at Hotel Indigo. We're going to hear about that as well. In the second segment, we'll hear from Coach Daniel Augustine. He is the coach for the National Under-15 Boys team, and he's here to discuss the Under-15 Boys tryouts that's coming up. They're having a camp to see who can make that team, and he's going to tell us what's next with that. And, of course, the Department of Sports Senior Sports Day. All right, so stay tuned. Let's hear a word from our sponsor, Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside. Stay tuned.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman is proud to continue to serve our island community. During the last Lionistic year, they successfully carried out community projects like the Prostate and Colon Cancer Awareness Campaign, site screenings, spelling bees, swim meets, and their community food pantry. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman looks forward to continuing their service during the 2024-2025 Lionistic year and for many more years to come. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman. Where there's a need, there's a lion, serving the community for over 50 years. The 8:12 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by CG Britcay. Insurance, health, pensions, life, where people come first.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Alrighty, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. Robert Thompson Jr., Mr. America, Mr. British. You named the title, he has it. Are there any more titles to that you have right now for this year?
Well, no, so far I only have done the British finals.
Mm-hmm.
Last year I won the World Finals in Australia.
Right.
And Mr. America last year as well, too.
Awesome. So you have to defend that title as well, the World Finals.
Yeah, so the Australian finals is being held in Germany this year. So after I leave from Mr. America this weekend, I head over to Germany next Wednesday as well.
See, Mr. World as well. There's not only Miss World, right? There's Mr. World as well. So let's talk about the Mr. British title, because when you were on the show last week, we didn't get to talk much about that. How did it feel? How did you feel winning that title alongside, of course, all your other achievements?
It's a blessing to be able to travel and compete as well. As we only have one show a year here in Cayman. I wish it was more, but the sport is growing.
It
is. I can see the interest. Especially after this last competition, I've got a lot of people reaching out about wanting to compete next year. But it's just a spark of interest because of seeing everybody on stage. So but the process isn't easy. So we'll see some new faces, and probably some people may start and fall off, but at the end of the day, I'm very happy to see that it's coming back alive, because I used to go and watch when I was younger.
Right.
And I was inspired by the older generation,
Tell
of
me
the
who
bodybuilding.
who were you inspired by?
Apart
from your family.
Seeing like Hugh Cottrell, I looked up to him a lot, because he's practically the godfather of bodybuilding, and came on.
Yes.
My uncle competed, John Thompson, seeing Kurt Kelly, Tiger Wilson. I didn't get to see all of the bodybuilders on stage, but the ones that I could remember when I did go and watch. The last show I went to was in 2010.
Right.
That was held at King's, and Hugh had won that show.
Okay.
So it was really good to be around strong men and women as well too, and
Right.
be inspired as well.
You said the godfather of bodybuilding for Cayman.
Yes.
What makes you that? What gives you that title, you think?
Is so for him, just like living, eating, sleeping, like the whole idea of what bodybuilding is, not just a competitor, but a person that lives bodybuilding on a daily basis.
So you're the godson then?
It's going to that direction now, yes.
Okay, you'll soon get the title. All right. So tell us, what significance does the Mr. British title hold for you compared to the other titles? What's the difference as well?
So the BNBF, which is British Natural Bodybuilding Federation, it is the finals for the British regions. So there's like how you have Georgetown, Boddington, West Bay, Eastern. England has different regions, so all the best athletes from each of those regions get invited to the British finals. I was invited to come over to compete in the finals as a pro. So being able to travel and go over there was a really good experience, because England isn't really known for producing a lot of great athletes. And to stand out
Exactly.
from such a small island and be able to come out on top, that was a big achievement for me as well, because obviously in Cayman, like, there's not a lot of bodybuilders at the moment. So coming from a very small country and being able to make a lot of noise is a really good feeling. As you know, there's millions of people in America and England, and I've proven myself in different continents now.
Yeah.
So I feel like
You sure have.
I feel like I'm on a good road when it comes to the bodybuilding scene.
Awesome. Can you share some insights with us into the preparation and the mindset that led to your victory?
So at the show in Cayman, we briefly spoke about mental health, and
Yes.
I did like a small tribute to a client that I had, and
Yes.
I wasn't supposed to compete this year, and the last thing I remember her telling me is that I want to watch you one day, and like I'm a man, I believe in God, and just I feel like I have had a new angel over me watching me, so I was like I have to compete because she wants to see me. And that was my driving factor to getting on stage this year, and then also to to give strength to the people around me too, especially when I'm in a hole or in a bad place. I won't continue to put myself in that place, just to show strength, like, even going through a bad time.
Especially as a trainer of other people as well.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I have to be their strength,
Yes.
on a daily basis. So it was very difficult to the beginning of prep, because I was dealing with some injuries as well too.
Okay.
I had a knee problem. My hip was giving issues. So I was like, I started to say, age is starting to catch up. But I overcame them.
Yeah.
I still have them. I also got a wisdom tooth surgery I was supposed to do, but I didn't do it again. I just found ways to kind of suppress the pain. And I feel like all of those battles allowed me to actually push harder, because I feel like 10 pain is temporary, and I feel like that me going through that, that time or that phase in life this year is what actually got me to even get in the best shape I've been in ever,
Yeah, definitely. Circling back to Mr. Hugh Cottrell, how is he doing?
Yeah, so he came to the show on Saturday, and like I've always remembered him as being a very strong man, and it was very sad to see the state that he's in now. He's not doing the best, but I see he's still fighting.
Yes.
So it shows strength, but it was being around him, he gave me the opportunity to be able to even start helping people, gave me a space to be able to train clients. And that's actually how I started, or I began my legacy in relation to, becoming a successful personal trainer. And that led me to now, opening my own gym, and also to continue to grow in the fitness aspect in Cayman.
What's the name? Sorry to cut you off. What's the name of your gym and where is it located?
It's located in Industrial Park, and it's called Lift Studio Cayman.
Lift Studio.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go to the Muscle Mayhem event. You won the pro men's bodybuilding category. What was that like for you, competing against those guys? I spoke to Dale after the show, and he explained everything to me, because I was looking at you, and then I was looking at David Loveless.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, that's like very close. So it's going to be tough for the judges. But Dale explained to me what happens in the pre-judging versus what happens in the late judging. So, because a lot of people were also, not just with your category, but with other categories, they were a bit confused as to the judging, how this ends up that way. Yeah. So it's nice when Dale explains that in the pre-judging, some guys come and they're perfect, their bodies are perfect, but later on in the night it's different, or vice versa. Yeah. What was your situation like in the morning versus the evening?
So for pros, we don't have pre-judging.
Oh, okay.
So
for you guys,
we only compete in the night. In the amateur category, there is pre-judging, so a lot of guys come in, tighter, or are in a better shape that morning, and then some guys, it's the opposite. They end up coming in tighter in the night.
What happens in between that stretch, that morning time when everybody's body's tight and fit?
Nerves, stress, probably just the body didn't pump up, for example. They didn't do like a good pump up backstage. There's a lot of variables at play in relation to how you look, so that's why peaking is very difficult, because it doesn't always go as planned,
right?
And most of the times some guys get tighter in the night, and then it gives them an edge, and then they end up coming out on top. So like even with Lloyd and Nick in the finals, that was very close, because Nick started to get tighter towards the night,
right,
and that's where Nick edged Lloyd in the night as well.
Okay, that explains a lot. Okay, good. So do you have any like memorable moments of Saturday night? What was your takeaway from that?
Well, I always like competing in front of family and friends, regardless if it's just guest posing. So it was actually a good feeling to have pros come down. It was nice to meet David as well. He has many years on me from competing. He's been competing 20 years consecutively, no break.
Yeah. Wow.
So, he saw me backstage and he was like, "What are you?" Like,
good question.
He didn't know I was a pro, because like when I'm in my tracksuit, you can't really
see anything. No, yeah.
But when I I took off everything. He was like, "Wow." So, it was good to meet the pros. Also, Zico was back on stage. He's a pro from Cayman as well, too. So it was good to get. And then Ricardo, he won his pro card. So finally got to step on stage with him. I hadn't competed with Ricardo since 2019 at the Muscle Mayhem. So, after 5 years of him battling, trying to get it, he finally got it. So, it's good to see that he's up in the league now with us in the pro league.
Are you the only one heading to Mr. America tomorrow, or some of your other trainees will be?
No, actually, we have a little team going.
Nice.
So Lloyd is coming.
Okay.
Kerry is coming. Akeem White is coming as well, and Tadashi as well.
Okay. All right.
So they're all being there.
Well, look at Lloyd Barker. He was a former staff member here at Radio Cayman, so we could big up Lloyd. Oh, and Tadashi, who was here last Tuesday, she looked amazing on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I loved what I saw. You know, when she was sitting here, you could just see the definition in the arms, but when she stripped on stage, I mean, hey, the woman's got a gorgeous body. She looked really good. With in that category though, it was the wellness category. Is that the category she got the pro card?
No, so she got her pro card for wellness, but basically how she attained got her pro card was because she won the overall compared to the bikini competitor.
Oh, okay.
So basically what happened was Akila is already
A pro. Yes.
and Akila has like massive quads, like
Yes.
you know, so
Beautiful
so
quads.
that's where wellness is, you know, it's about the size of your quads
Right.
and your glutes. So like, you know, with Tadashi, you know, she knows that she needs to, if she wants to be in the wellness category, she needs to bring up her legs a lot more. So, and she's a lot more, she's too conditioned for bikini category, so she would
Okay.
either fall in wellness or figure, but we didn't have a figure class this year. So for the pro card, a lot of people were kind of confused as into how they got their pro card, you know. So it was more so, does this athlete meet the criteria for the category? So it wasn't like Tadashi versus Gloria or Tugman versus Nick and Ricardo. It was, does this athlete hit all the criteria or all the checkpoints for what we're looking for
Right.
in their respective category? And that's how the athlete ends up getting their pro card.
Awesome. Thank you for explaining. And then all the best to you all as you head off. 6 of you, I think you named
Yes,
it. What, 6 of you? That should be pretty cool. Should be a fun trip.
Yes.
And it's in New Jersey?
Yes, it's in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Okay, awesome. And is this everybody else's first time?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to remember the 2 young men that came into the studio last year with you. We'll find out that at the break. But I didn't see them this year, competing this year, so I was just wondering if...
I'm trying to remember who...
Yeah, there's so many people that you... No, man, they weren't 14, man. They were... I'm speaking with my producer right now, so sorry if you're wondering who I'm chatting with, as other than you, it's the producer I'm speaking with. But they weren't 14. They were adults like you were, but they were very new to the sport as well.
There was a it's like a lighter skinned guy.
Yes.
He had an accent.
Yes.
He didn't compete this year.
Okay.
And then there was another person.
There was another one as well.
I can't
But
remember.
are they still working out?
They still go to the gym.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is with bodybuilding here, like, one year you'll have new faces, the next year it's another group of people. You know, it's never the same.
Yeah. It's
year
a serious
after year.
commitment, huh?
It is, and it's not really cheap to do as well. So I do understand, you know, when athletes come in and come out. You know,
Yeah.
So
Well, hopefully they get that motivation back again, that spark. I'm not sure if they were at the show to see it, but hopefully that does it, you know, because we want more competition.
Yes.
He needs more competition, right? You need more competition. Okay, so let's talk about the athletes that you trained, because you trained 8 of the 21 athletes that competed on Saturday night. What was your approach to coaching and preparing those athletes for the competition?
So for me, I know I had shows for myself coming up, and especially new athletes, it's like, you know, a lot of, you know, explaining and trying to, you know, get them to understand the process. And what I had done was prepare, like, you know, their peaking protocols and their diets like way beforehand, just so that I could have free time for myself to be able to focus on me from my shows. Because I've had times in 2022, I had some athletes as well too, but I had messed up my peaking for that show, and it was just not a good time for me. So, you know, I approached it differently, where I explained everything way beforehand, gave them their instructions. If they had small questions, they would ask, but at least they had like a, you know, a better understanding of, you know, where or what they should be doing. So it was 8 of them, and Yes, it's a lot. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's my responsibility to, encourage and also get people involved in the sport. Because with bodybuilding itself, you can doubt yourself a lot. You don't really see your potential unless someone says it to you, like, hey, you can do this. And literally that's how all of these athletes actually got on stage.
It's all about confidence, right? It's all about confidence as well.
Yes.
I'm not hearing myself very clearly through the mic. All right, it's all about confidence because, we can start by saying, you doubt yourself, but from the time you start seeing that weight loss, the confidence starts to build. And I'm sure that's what happened with a lot of your athletes as well. Yeah. And that's motivation as well. Because I know every time, someone asks me, hey, you want to start with me, start the gym, or you have asked me to start your program as well, and it's just not me, and I just don't have that focus. But I know once I start, and once I start to see the results as well,
yes, you get addicted to the process. Yes.
Yeah, that's usually how it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and there are several of your athletes that has been through that as well.
Yes. So, like, you mean in relation to the process,
the
whole process, yeah,
and the confidence and all that.
Yeah, because they would start out kind of slow, and then when they start to see the changes in the body, like, that's the driving factor, reminding them or showing them that there is more.
Yes.
So
yeah, definitely. What was the most rewarding part of seeing your athletes perform on stage on Saturday?
Seeing them place in their respected categories. Seeing that they're happy with how their body looks, and at the end of the day, I remind them that bodybuilding is a very subjective sport. So regardless of getting feedback from judges or what other people think, I always remind them, are you happy? Or ask them, are you happy? Are you happy about what you've achieved? You're in the best shape of your life? So there's no loss there. The opinion of others, and also what the judges think, it is a help. It's a driving factor to you getting better, but at the same time, it doesn't take away from what you have done, because you've done something that a lot of people wish they could do.
Right.
So you should be proud of what you've achieved.
Most definitely. Tell me something. What's the price of protein powder and steroids, which you should not know?
Well, I
just in case you do.
I don't know the price of steroids. But protein powder can run between like $80 for a 5-pound tub.
Yeah.
And $45 for a 2.5-pound tub.
How do you buy yours?
So normally I would order from Amazon, or when I go up or have friends go up, they'll bring it back for me. So I'll kind of time it where I can keep reing up. But of recent, I've realized the prices at the vitamin shop here has been, decent. So I've just been getting it from them. But I've been straying away from supplements.
Okay.
And more going towards like food, like wholesome food. But it is kind of hard to get in all that food on a daily basis. So that's why protein powder is essential. It's just another form of protein or protein source.
How readily available is steroids in the sport of bodybuilding? Have you ever been encountered with someone that has asked you, or?
So people have, like, a lot of people are, assume or come and, based on my condition and how I look, that, oh yeah, he's definitely on drugs. I've been, from the day I started, I've been competing. I've been accused of, being on steroids. And, within myself, like, I'm a big believer in health and longevity. I don't have kids yet. And I know that that's a big factor in, like, slowing down that process. Yeah. And then also, too, like, if I'm trying to help people stay alive longer, why would I try to kill myself sooner,
But if you were on steroids, wouldn't you be a lot bigger?
I would be a lot bigger, but I would also... Well, at this current state that I'm at, I can actually compete in the untested bodybuilding shows, and I can hold my own, because just based on my conditioning and my shape, like, I know for sure that I would be able to. But the thing is, I want to leave a legacy in actual bodybuilding to show people what is possible, so that they don't have to stray and go over to that side. Like, I've had athletes come to me and tell me thank you for being you, and for showcasing and pushing what natural bodybuilding is, because they started to think that they had to start taking, drugs to be able to reach their genetic potential or to make it somewhere in bodybuilding.
Not here.
No, not here. Yeah. This is when I compete in my international shows, because it can become discouraging. Like, you compete year after year and you're not winning, you're not getting anything, so you just feel like you have to turn towards something else. Yeah.
But that could never happen to you. You're always winning, so you don't need that. You're always winning, so that doesn't matter to you.
We have so much more information now when it comes to, food and training and recovery and stuff. Back then, the internet wasn't as, accessible. Yeah. So that's why the standard of natural bodybuilding is really high now. Like, the quality of athletes all over the world is like actually insane, before you could like count how much natural bodybuilders were, that guy. Now there's like a solid group of us
definitely
up there in the elite bodybuilders now. So, and it's good to be recognized as one of them,
Yeah, of course. Congrats.
Thank you.
Well, with 3 minutes left, I just want to touch a little bit on the Mr. America title that you're about to defend. What sort of changes or improvements have you made to your training regimen since you last won?
Last year, I didn't really rest a lot. I just kept going, and I felt really, really burnt out. This year, I actually listened to my body a lot more, so I took rest days when needed. I actually ate a lot more off season, so I put on a lot more size. I'm bringing a very good package to the Mr. America show, and I feel like I left no stone unturned. So whoever is coming to the show has to bring it, because I'm bringing it.
Yeah, those are the same promises you made the last time on the show as well. Our producer remembers it as well. So, what are your expectations? We spoke about this off the mic, but I want to hear I want you to tell the rest of the Cayman community, what are your expectations for this year's competition? Especially given it's the 85th anniversary.
The 85th anniversary. Yeah. So this one is really big. It'll actually be streamed live on pay-per-view and streamed in front of millions of people in America on live TV. So I think Mike O'Hearn is supposed to be at the show as well too. Obviously, I'm hoping a lot of people know who he is. Yeah. So this year, based on how I'm feeling and I'm looking, I can confidently say I feel like I have it.
Yeah.
But if I end up not getting the title again, I'm still happy with what I have achieved based on my physique.
At least top 3.
Yes, I'm confident in a top 3 placement.
Yeah.
Because there are good guys, there are good bodybuilders all over the world. I'm a very humble bodybuilder. I'm not gonna walk around and always say like I'm the best, or I know I'm up there, but I'm not gonna brag about it.
Yeah, let us do that. As we reporters will do that for you.
Especially because of it being a subjective sport,
right?
So I allow the judges and the night to go as it should.
Awesome. Before you go, tell the people of the Cayman Islands, how do you stay motivated and focused and keep going the way you do, especially as it's an individual sport. It's a very lonely sport.
Yes. So personally, anything that I do in my life, like I'm a, high achiever, high like football, schooling. I always want to be the best version of myself, and when I start something, I always feel like there's more. I feel like there's room to keep on improving. Seeing like you said earlier, the results and the changes, that is actually a driving factor for me, because like every time I compete, I start to see like stuff pop up on my body that I hadn't seen before, and I was like,
a particular muscle.
Well, I've been getting a lot more feathers, so
feathers
in my quads, and it's actually a really rare thing. I've been notified as having the craziest feathering in
and
quads,
feathering is the side here. right?
No,
No,
feathering
where's that?
is the
legs?
the lines. There's
Oh, I thought it
small
was. And all
lines.
this time, I'm thinking it's like right here.
There's feathers all over the body, so like
okay.
muscle fibers, but there's deeper fibers within the leg muscle.
Okay.
So right now I'm considered to having the best feathering across like natural bodybuilding history.
Women
right now.
have feathering as well.
Yeah, it just depends on. It's a genetic factor.
Okay.
So
Based on what I saw with Akila on Saturday, she looked like she had a couple of feathers.
yeah, so feathering would be like
Okay.
the lines in here. So
Bruce Lee.
the-
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's also a genetic factor because some people get it, some people
Yeah.
don't. But
It's
like,
a particular type of exercise you have to do to get those.
well, a lot of squats, a lot of leg extensions, but regardless of you doing it or not, you know, it still ties down to genetics.
Genetics,
So thanks, Dad and Mom.
Yeah. And uncles. All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
And continue to stay humble. I think that's the most beautiful thing about you. You're very humble. You're great at what you do, but yet you remain humble, and that's a good trait.
Yes.
So continue to do that, and all the best to you and your athletes as you guys travel tomorrow.
Thank you very
Safe
much.
travels. All right. All right. Stay tuned. We're going to hear a word from our sponsor, Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside. And when we get back, we'll hear from Coach Daniel Augustine.
Looking for better health insurance? It's time to level up to BAF Insurance. BAF offers quality, flexible health plans for you, your family, and your entire work group with friendly professional service. So, if your current health plan is less than you expected, then make that call today. At BAF, we will help you find a plan that's just right for you. Give us a call at 949-5089 and level up to BAF.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record into your home.
Hear from your government and community leaders on issues and events concerning the Cayman Islands and its residents during Radio Cayman's For the Record talk radio program, airing each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning from 7:30 to 10.
For the Record.
For the Record.
For the Record.
Is brought to you by JN Money, from abroad to Yard. Fast, affordable, convenient. For more information, visit jnmoneyonline.com.
20 years after Hurricane Ivan, our nation has shown incredible resilience, rebuilt homes, restored schools, and strengthened our communities through unity.
We're deeply grateful for the vital support from our global neighbors. Together, we've rebuilt and laid the foundation for a stronger future.
Now, we must embrace a culture of readiness, looking out for one another and preparing for the future. With the continued support of our international allies, we'll ensure our nation remains strong. 20 years after Hurricane Ivan, we are survivors, a thriving, resilient community. Together, we will continue to grow, to support one another, and to ensure that the lessons learned are never forgotten.
For more information on hurricane preparedness and community resilience, visit caymanprepared.ky.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman. Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Good evening, and welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. Thank you so much for Robert Thompson Jr. for stopping by. But now we'll be talking with Coach Daniel Augustine, and he's the National Under-15 Boys Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you guys are having an invitation tryouts for the Under-15 team. So tell us a little bit about that process. What qualities are you looking for in the players for your tryouts, etc.?
First of all, good evening to all of the Cayman listeners, to all the sports sports people out there in the world. So basically, I'm tasked, for 2024 and 2025 to select a group of young men.
Mm-hmm.
I think going in the route of asking for a larger number will kind of allow us to create more talent or see more talent and, try to push them into our junior leagues, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
But at this time, if you're born, 2011,
okay.
Specifically FIBA requirements. FIBA is, of course, the Federal International
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Basketball governing body for basketball in the world. They task us with this age group because as far as development purposes, they want to be able to have the Cayman Islands included with all the participating countries for this tournament next year in August 2025.
Okay.
Just, they want to see growth,
right?
Especially in that area. So,
okay.
So that's coming up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So where's that tournament going to be? Do we know yet?
Well, since it's kind of early to say where, but the date and the month, I guess, is kind of set in stone because every 2 years they try to have these tournaments, to help again, with growth and stuff like that.
And it's so good to see when you see the under-15s play. You get to see the senior men, the senior women, but when you get to see the young athletes, you see the future. You see that this is where basketball is going. Right?
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of more excited than last year because you're aware that last year was again in the same position, but a bit earlier,
right?
And kind of extending it out to more programs because we have more coaches, so that means we have more players,
right?
So we can grab and pull from the various age groups, but specifically for under 15 at this time.
All right, but you guys are holding a camp, I see.
Yes.
So it's a camp, and it's free.
That's correct.
Okay, and it's the week of the 21st through the 25th of October.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be held at UCCI.
Correct.
And this is just so you could see what they're made of.
Yeah, I want to encourage all of those, young men out there that aspire to, either play in high school or play in college and hopefully, at the end of the day, get to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere, and you always have to be in a structured program, and SEBA has more than, at this point, stretched out their arms to ensure that we are accommodating, to not only the boys, but of course the girls also too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a free camp. Now, the camp is during the week off of school, which is I think half term. I think it is.
Yes. Midterm. Midterm.
Midterm.
Yeah, midterm
right?
break.
So it gives the kids something to do. Instead of just whether the norm is staying home, and just probably playing video games pretty much for the rest of the whole week.
Yes.
So once again, just want to encourage these kids to come out and stay active, for a good cause. You could potentially represent, the country in the next few months. Like both of us did when we were that age.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the trips that we've been on over the years at that age.
I want to extend that to the younger ones now, the new generation.
Yes, times are different. When learning schemes are different, training methods have changed. More interests,
more competition, because it's not just 5-on-5 anymore. There's 3-on-3 now.
Exactly. So we're provided the world in almost, we're getting closer to all 360 degree of giving the kids the opportunity to be able to play basketball.
Yeah, definitely.
All
right. So what sort of qualities are you looking for in your players when they come out for this camp?
Well, to be honest,
do you have to be able to play, or you?
Oh yeah, I mean, of course we want to.
Might have some kid that can't play, but they love the sport and they want to learn. Are they welcomed as well, or is it just people who can already play?
Well, a mixture of both.
Okay.
Because if you understand the numbers, for that age group is not exactly as large as we would expect. So that's why the maximum number is 60.
Okay.
I'm hoping that I get all 60, and then we can kind of scale down from there, and look at the talent and see who is who. But as far as what the coaches are looking for, and this is based on experiences over the years going to these type of tournaments, is height,
right,
and athleticism. And of course, we're going to always put into the program academics also too. All right. So they, it's not just once selected, come play, go back home, come back and train, go back home. No, we want to make sure that we monitor, the entire program, and especially with the athletes that decide to come out.
How do you, in this camp with, let's say you have 60 kids, how do you ensure a fair and comprehensive evaluation for each player during these tryouts?
Yeah, so at the end of the week, the coaches and we're gonna discuss and hopefully provide them with a sheet with evaluations. So whether if they are weak in this area, there's a like almost 30 different aspects of what we're looking for. And to your question about whether the kid loves the sport, only been playing for maybe a year or less. This is an opportunity for us to tell those athletes or participants that, hey, on this sheet, here's where your weaknesses and your strengths could possibly be at the end of the day. We always want to make sure we communicate that with. So the kids always want to know how they're getting better, when they're getting better.
And how do you handle? There's also an emotional aspect to this, right? So how do you handle the emotional aspects of tryouts, especially for those who may not make the team? Because there are some of them too who are passionate, they love the sport, but they may not get the chance to be selected.
There's always an opportunity for you to go and work harder.
Yeah.
There should be no excuse where, courts are available, a ball is always readily available.
And we have leagues as well that you can take part in.
And we have leagues. Basketball is a tricky sport where you actually have to, you got to train at least,
4 to 5 times.
Yeah. Per week,
and
at least 12, 15 hours a week.
Yes.
For that specific age group. And then some, because if we're trying to go up against, teams like the US that are actually in our zone, we're looking at how many games that age group plays per year.
Right.
We're looking at how in height, wingspan, also speed of play, how long they've been playing, and sometimes we go even further. If your parents played.
Right.
Because that makes a lot of difference.
Well,
They'll be
helps,
outside playing with with their kids and making sure that if telling their child, if you want to actually make the team, don't wait for practice.
Yes.
Don't wait for the coach to tell you to practice. You got to get up in the morning. You got to go and shoot your 200 shots per day.
That's what my father always told us. If he never saw us got up at 5 a.m, he didn't think we were serious.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
I shouldn't have to wake you. If you get up on your own, I know you're serious.
Yeah.
If I have to wake you, you're not serious.
The road to greatness starts that way.
Yeah.
You can't be if or maybe, take breaks when you can, of course.
Yes.
But most importantly, make sure that you're having fun.
Right.
Because especially when you're out there by yourself, set goals for yourself, because you want to make sure that you always know how you are improving. You don't want to just go out there and just take 200 shots.
Right.
You don't know how much you scored.
Right.
Of
course.
Because that will play right back into if you decide to go play in a team.
Right. Definitely.
So work hard. Basketball is a game that requires you to work extremely hard on your body. Like I said, athleticism, could surpass height, if you're extremely athletic. And it can take you very, very far.
Places, yes, definitely. And what role do parents play in supporting their children throughout this tryout? Because that's important as well, because we need them to bring them to your camp.
Yeah, as far as supporting, your kid, encourage them to, to work at the sport just as hard as they work in school or in their classroom, and just keep working and stay the course. And look for the best possible teams or coaches, training regimes, et cetera, to stay on that level and be above everybody else.
Awesome. I like that. How do you engage them, the parents, just to ensure they understand and support the goals and the expectations for the selection, the under-15 team?
Yeah, so basically parents could, reach out to the coaches first of all, because not all parents would get what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Right.
You know, most parents will have an idea.
So they need to stay engaged as
well.
well.
Yeah, so we try to communicate as much as we can, and we don't want to ever leave the parents out, because at the end of the day, we need them to bring them to training.
Yes.
You know, we need them to eat properly. You know, we need them to maintain their school, their academics in school. You know, so parents play a huge role. We never ever, you know, leave out the parents when it comes to sports.
Yeah. And you also play a huge role in the mental aspect of it as well. As a parent, you want to also continue to encourage your child, and use positive reinforcement as well.
That's right.
Yeah, most kids do need that. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be a balance, you know, because we can't win everything.
Right.
You know, but we can prepare ourselves on what to do when we lose, and especially when we win.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about this camp. What can we expect?
All right. So during the day, we do what we call stations, where we do different drills, whether it's working on defense, seeing what the athletes are, what their abilities are on defense, what strengths and weaknesses they have in shooting. So we'll have about 6 to 7 stations, 6 coaches at each station. And just, you know, working with the athletes, ensuring that, you know, if corrections need to be made, you know, and we work ourselves in a circuit, you know, throughout the from 8:30 to 10, you know, and then we break them off into small groups, and we see how they can apply what they learned in the stations during the 5-on-5 games later on in the afternoon time.
Okay, awesome. So what opportunities are available for athletes who show potential but may need further development?
Right now, for basketball?
Yes, so they're not necessarily ready for the under-15 national team, but you see the potential. What opportunities are there?
There is, well, of course, you know, there's the basketball academy on a Saturday morning. I think it's First Baptist. There is, you know, depending on the age too, because sometimes you're not going to get, you know, an influx of that one age group.
Right.
You might find you have, you know, a kid might be 14, but a 12-year-old might be just as mature as a 14-year-old in skill-wise.
Right.
All right. So find the different avenues, you know, find the different, you know, areas where training actually take place, and commit and stay committed.
Right. Okay. That was good. I like that, how you just stopped abruptly. Caught me off guard there.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do, though, we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
I know we want to touch a little bit on the Department of Sports Seniors Day.
Sure.
Right? So we're going to take a short break here. Word from our sponsor, Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside. We're listening to Daniel Augustine, National Under-15 Boys Basketball Coach. Stay tuned.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
We're going to dance and have some fun.
Get in the groove with RC Fusion, brought to you weekdays, 10 a.m. to 12 noon by the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure, Transportation and Sports and Development. Stay in the know on the latest projects and developments by the Ministry of PAHI. Visit www.gov.ky/PAHI. That's gov.ky. www.ccc.org/PAHI.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
All right, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. We have Coach Daniel Augustine in the studio. He is the National Boys Under 15 basketball coach for Cayman Basketball, but he's also working with the Department of Sports, and they're having their Senior Sports Day, and that's coming up when? What can you tell us about the Senior Sports Day?
This is the second annual Senior Sports Day.
Nice.
Last year was a success, and we're looking to, we've made a few amendments to help encourage the seniors to come out, because based off of, feedback from the community, we want to make sure we provide what they want.
What they need.
This time is all about the seniors.
Yeah.
All right. And on October 26th, which is a Saturday, so in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We're gonna. The Department of Sports is gonna host, the Sports Day. Miss Cherry Whitaker is the sole contact.
Okay.
I'm basically assisting in every shape and form to ensure that, we get the participation from the seniors from every community in the country.
So what impact have you seen Senior Sports Day have on the community, you'd say?
Well, I think they've been encouraged. We're having more programs in the community from persons seeing the need. I myself, I'm about to, issue out something for the seniors also.
I thought you said you were going to take part.
Well, not right now.
You're not a senior yet.
Not right now.
I mean, you're graying and all, but I know.
Not right now. But, it's all about the seniors.
Wisdom.
Yeah, hopefully. But, that day is all about the seniors. I want to say that they're looking forward, to coming out.
Yeah.
And participating, just being active, in creating memories amongst their own age category, their own peers, and with the coaches around from DOS and a few volunteers from the Department of Education. We're gonna keep that spark alive.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. I know you're not the organizer of the event, and I will have Mr. Everton and Miss Cherry on the show on the 22nd of this month.
Perfect.
But what exactly inspired the creation of Senior Sports Day?
Well, we have parents.
Yes.
Don't
let my parents hear you.
we are.
Be very careful now.
We are. Definitely. We looked at the possibilities of us when we are that age. We want to make sure that if we create this and we do this the right way, when we get to that age, we should fall right in line with what's happening. So we're looking forward for this to not be just 20, 23, 24, 25, but as long as we could stay in this game of being able to provide.
And you want them at that age too to be fitter, feel healthier, feel good about themselves. And the best way to do that is to exercise, actually.
That's right.
I know Miss Mita Day has a program for the seniors in West Bay. I know about the West Bay division, where she has about 10 or 12 ladies that are over 60, and even one that's 80 years old that's doing so much, and she's running and jogging and jumping, and that's what back in the day you find you never heard of someone in their 80s doing all of that.
Exactly.
Right? You tend to be sitting in the rocking chair at home watching TV, but now times are changing, huh?
Yes.
You see that they're trying to keep their minds fresh and alive as well.
Exactly. A lot of stuff has been taken away from them as they age.
Yes.
And one thing we don't want to encourage is for them to just stay indoors.
Yeah.
So the more activities encourage the longer life, I guess, if everybody, wishes for that for themselves.
Can you describe one of the most memorable moments from last year's edition of it? What was
oh my God. So what was really breathtaking for me was watching the older persons sprint down the track.
The 100 meter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so
what was the age group?
So we had 3 age groups, and I think that was the 65 to 70, I think.
Oh man.
Yeah, they were going.
Oh man.
And I like
some of them are probably faster
you
than
know,
me.
I was encouraged. I was like, man, I hope I can move like that when I get that age.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? Because they were moving, and
yeah.
To just see how ecstatic and how happy they were just to be out there.
Yes.
With everybody else, their age group. Just made the whole event really come off really good. So we're really looking to encourage that again for this year around.
Awesome. And what message do you have for the seniors who might be hesitant to join in on the fun?
All you got to do is take one step at a time.
Yeah.
Come out. We're going to have a plethora of very, very fun games.
Nice.
For, all age groups. And, just come out.
Yes.
We're here to support you in every shape way that we deem possible.
Awesome. Yeah. So day and time again for
senior. So senior 2024 Senior Sports Day is on October 26, 2024, and it'll be venue is Truman Bodden Sports Complex, and it starts at 5 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, and we go till about 9 p.m.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you said something about adjusting to the needs of the seniors. It was all about what they want. What were some of the things that they complained about maybe that you guys should have had there, or some of the the changes you've made for this year, I should ask?
I think they wanted to, some love dominoes.
Okay. Yeah, so they want dominoes competition.
Yeah, some really love dominoes.
Keep their minds sharp.
Exactly.
Not just physical competition.
So we plan to implement that this year also too.
Yes.
It's not always about, that physical aspect.
Yes.
Like I said, it's a day and an event for just fun.
Right.
We have food provided, we have good music, we might see some old time Cayman dancing, etc., etc. So just come out, believe in what we're doing and believe that, after once this is done for this year, next year look forward to it also too.
Awesome. And tell the kids under 15 why they should come out to the basketball camp that's coming up on the 21st through the 25th.
Right. So come out. If you want to represent your country, at the highest level at your age group, here's the opportunity for you to do that.
Right.
And it's not the competition is not this year, obviously. So we have, quite a ways ahead of us to prepare, and travel of course, to get the necessary team prepared and stuff for that. So it's gonna be fun times. It's gonna be a lot of work.
Yes.
So
there's going to be an evaluation and assessment at the end of the camp.
At the end of the camp.
So that you guys can make your selection.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
I like it. And the day, and it's the 21st to the 25th?
21st to the 25th.
Time?
We start at 8:30 and we end at 12.
You end at 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Are the kids going to get their T-shirts or balls or anything?
We normally, since it's a tryout basis, the coaches will provide the balls, and of course for coaches and the staff purposes, we'll have, hopefully we'll have some reversible jerseys so we can identify and put that number on the evaluation form at the end of the day.
Awesome. I like it. All the best. I hope you have a plethora of kids.
Thank you.
More than 60.
Yeah, I'll take more.
Yeah. And it's not a babysitting camp.
No, it's not. We're here to work, and we want to represent the country at its best.
Yes.
So it's serious business.
It's serious business, so you can't drop your 3-year-old off.
No.
You can't drop your 5 and 6-year-old off. There are no playpens.
0 playpens.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you so much for stopping by. All the best with that. The under 15 tryouts. I'm hoping you get a good load, and we see the future, a bright future for all 12 to 15, right? 12 to 15 of them you'll be selecting.
Yep.
Okay.
That's correct.
Awesome. And all the best to Robert and his athletes as well. That's heading off to New Jersey for the Mr. America. He's Mr. America and Mr. British.
Wow.
Right. So those are some. He's an international. He's Mr. International. Just call him Mr. International because he's also Mr. World. Right. So, all right. So, thank you all so much for tuning in. That's it for tonight's edition of Sports Extra. Of course, if you would like to be, just to have the opportunity to be a part of our show, please feel free to email me at sportsextrakman@gmail.com. Just so you know, you can check out our Radio Cayman Sports Extra social media pages, Instagram. We also have Facebook that's very active. We also have this YouTube channel that you can tune into just to hear this live broadcast. All right, on Facebook Live as well. So also a special thank you to our sponsor, Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Village. Thank you so much for joining us. And Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside, WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045. Yeah, that's right. I remember to say it this time.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't look at me like that. All right. So I'm Dionne Anglin. Daniel Augustine, thank you so much once again.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you all for tuning in. Good night and God bless.
God bless you.
Sports Extra, brought to you by Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
Sports Extra. From 7 to 8 p.m., highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.